with Google, got to with Facebook. These downloads, 5.8 million people downloaded from the Google Play Store these apps. And some of these apps have been identified by researchers as being able to steal your Facebook information. And what a lot of them do, these apps, they do overlays. So you'll get this screen and I'll say, hey, connect it to your Facebook account. And it's not a real Facebook account screen that they're connecting you to. It's basically an overlay. I don't even know how else to describe it.
It's essentially just phishing for your Facebook credentials.
Yeah.
I mean, it's oh man.
So here are the 9 apps. We'll put it up in an image on the screen here. Locket Master, InWell Fitness, Pip Photo. There's a couple other apps too. Processing Photo, App Lock Keep, Rubbish Cleaner, Horoscope Daily, Horoscope Pi, and App Lock Manager. So if you or your friends or your family are using any of these apps, get them off your phone as quickly as you possibly can. We'll include the links as well in the notes that you can follow along and hear more about this information, because there's another story that's making the news right now, and that's about Facebook, the Messenger app, Forrest. And I know you're not a fan of Messenger app.
No, not at all.
You like Signal, and
oh yeah,
and I'm a WhatsApp kind of guy. I got a lot of friends internationally, and that's what we use.
Yeah, I mean WhatsApp's still owned by Facebook.
Come on, give me a break
it's
here, man.
It's hard to get out of the ecosystem for sure.
It is.
I definitely recommend Signal, Element if you're not a fan of phone numbers. I mean, there's others as well. Wicker, Wire. I mean. Yeah. And
that's the challenge with Facebook and their Messenger app is, and they've come out and said this multiple times, that all your data that flows through Facebook Messenger app flows through our servers. So we have the ability to look at your conversations. And they're doing it, they do it under the guise of trying to protect the platform, the integrity of their rules. And they've thrown out, Mark Zuckerberg, he was on an interview once for us, and he said, the Myanmar was going over the riots in Myanmar, we were able to stop it. I mean, it was just some crazy stuff that he threw out there. But the bottom line is Messenger has no encryption on it. And the challenge that Facebook's trying to do is put end-to-end encryption for both a privacy and content perspective. It puts that stuff at risk.
Yeah. It's, I mean, there's constant anti-encryption arguments always being made, and it generally boils down to one of the, I don't know if you've heard this term before, the 4 horsemen of the info apocalypse or infocalypse. I can't remember, but it's the 4 are terrorists, drug dealers, pedophiles, and money launderers. And it's always one of these that are going to be leveraged in an attempt to stifle encryption. That's old cypherpunk.
Well, that's the concern from the privacy perspective, is law enforcement saying a lot of minors are using Facebook Messenger. And the concern is if adults have nefarious purposes and they want to get in and try to befriend a minor using Facebook Messenger, they can do that right now because of the lack of encryption. And the privacy experts are saying, but if you introduce encryption, does this make it much more harder to identify threat actors that would be going after a child, for example? So there's a lot of privacy concerns here for us. And we don't have all the answers, obviously, but it's an interesting story to follow. And it's one of those things, if you truly do care about your privacy and what content you put out there, you may want to look at other apps. So.